Let's break down this video that perfectly captures the delusion of fat acceptance.
If I have to lose weight in order to have a voice, a presence, and for you to respect me, I am not the problem.
Heavy on this. This is kind of how I've thought of it for my entire life.
Let's stop here. This idea that respect must be unconditional, regardless of how you treat your own body, is the core flaw in the fat acceptance movement. Respect isn't handed out, it's earned. And yes, appearance often plays a role in social dynamics. That's human nature. If you demand that people ignore health, biology, and social reality just to validate your feelings, that's entitlement. If you're visibly neglecting your health, society doesn't owe you admiration or applause. Basic decency, sure, but respect, that's earned through discipline, character, and personal accountability.
Expecting somebody to change their body for you to respect them is, in my opinion, incredibly narcissistic. And we're not saying, oh, you have to date someone you're not attracted to, because I know that's the first place y'all are going to jump in the comments. No, we're talking about treating somebody with basic decency.
So she calls it narcissistic to expect someone to lose weight for others to respect them. But what's more narcissistic than demanding the world change how it perceives you while you refuse to take responsibility for your own health? Also, she frames this like it's just about being treated like a person. But the subtext is clear. It's not about decency. It's about demanding celebration of unhealthy habits. This is manipulative framing. People aren't withholding kindness. They're pushing back against a culture that's normalizing chronic illness. Nobody is obligated to affirm your life choices, especially when those choices come with serious health risks. You just hate the truth.
We're talking about treating somebody with basic decency and as a human being. That's all. And a lot of you have this idea that I'll treat them with basic decency when they prove they deserve it by losing weight. And it's like, you want this person to go through whatever it takes to lose weight, which, you know, for some people is a fucking lot. Like, I have PCOS. I've never lost weight without cutting my calories down to triple digits. Never. And if you're going to tell me that's just what I have to do, no, because I should not have to make myself weak and hungry and dizzy for you to like me, for you to approve of me, for you to treat me like a decent fucking human being. And just the narcissism of assuming someone is going to contort themselves for you so that you will pay them attention is just unbelievably, callous to me. And as the person who's being asked to shrink themselves to be approved of, that is so fundamentally disempowering, and just, it feels like it would kill my soul.
This statement says it all. The idea that choosing health is somehow a form of spiritual oppression speaks a lot about this mindset. Choosing not to take care of your body just to, quote, spite people who value health? Wow. The body doesn't care if your choices are political. It responds biologically. High blood pressure, diabetes, joint problems as consequences. She also brings up PCOS, as if it's a barrier to health. Of course, medical conditions exist, but they don't exempt you from the effort to manage your body. People with diabetes still monitor sugar. People with anxiety still go to work. Having a challenge doesn't make the responsibility disappear. Fat acceptance wants sympathy without responsibility, and that's not how the world works.
To shrink themselves to be approved of, that is so fundamentally disempowering, and just, it feels like it would kill my soul to do that, to lose weight specifically for other people's approval. In my youth, when I would go on these crazy diets and lose weight, I did not want to tell anyone. I did not want to hear their comments because I did not want them to think I was doing it for them. Even though on some level, I probably was, because it does give you access to better treatment.
Exactly, and that's the point. Society does treat you better when you appear healthy, disciplined, and self-respecting. Why? Because those traits are universally associated with reliability and effort. You're not entitled to the rewards of hard work without doing the work.
I did not want to hear their comments because I did not want them to think I was doing it for them. Even though on some level, I probably was, because it does give you access to better treatment, and I was doing it for the person in my head, the gaze in my head that said you won't be beautiful or worthy or good until you are thin. And that voice in my head was undoubtedly informed by other people and was undoubtedly part of the way that I saw myself through the lens of how I assumed other people would see me. I could not separate that. But even so, Thinking of explicitly losing weight so that a person will like you makes me literally sick to my stomach. I don't know if people realize how fundamentally disempowering it is to be told that you need to do this for other people. You need to do whatever it takes to shrink yourself so that you'll be liked more, so that you'll get access to things. Because that's changing your entire life. That's devoting your entire life, okay? It's not just a little lifestyle change where like, I eat sugar-free candy now instead. It's like, no, every single day I track everything I eat in an app. And if I go over, I have to fucking hate myself.
This is projection. Millions of people live healthy lives without turning it into a neurotic obsession. If her relationship with health is toxic, that's not an indictment of weight loss. It's a reflection of her own emotional instability. Fat acceptance wants to make self-improvement look like abuse. And that's incredibly dangerous. Health doesn't demand perfection, it requires intention. And this movement demonizes anyone who dares to have it.
Every single day I track everything I eat in an app. And if I go over, I have to fucking hate myself. And for me, that has led to physical, literal self-harm in a lot of ways. And they're asking you to do that for them to approve of you, so that they'll like you. You need to do that. You need to spend every waking moment of your entire life. You need to think about everything you put in your mouth and stress about it. You need to check in the mirror every day to make sure you're still acceptable so that they'll like you. For them. Fuck no. I do not even have words for how disempowering that is. And honestly, part of me just wants to stay fat to piss those fucking people off. Because they want you to do all that for them instead of simply being nice to you, treating you like a person, not harassing you on the internet. You could do something so fucking easy, and instead you need me to grovel and suffer and put myself at your feet and beg for your love. See? That feels like maybe you have some psychological issue, and me being fat maybe is not as big a mental disorder, which I hear people say all the time, as you being cruel and sadistic.
You seem like a crazy woman. But let's get serious. You can't scream, "Accept me," while mocking anyone who disagrees. This ideology thrives on guilt, demands worship, and punishes truth. At its core, it's about denial. Self-love isn't staying where you are, it's becoming better, and that requires work.
All of this. And since our whole world system is pushing thinness, guess what? They want you disempowered. The system and those who hold power in it want you powerless, weak, and hopeless, and with no capacity left to fight their bullshit.